Namaste everyone. Welcome to the Advaita Vedanta Satsang Home. The ongoing sessions are on Aparokshanubhuti, offered by Bindoji from, he's using two reference texts. One is pinned on the top, which is from Swami Vimuktananda, which is an English literal translation. And the other text is put in the chat, which is a Sanskrit text from Acharya Vidyaranya. And this offering is a more in-depth Sravana Manana of the Aparokshanubhuti offered by Bindoji. The replays are available in Clubhouse. We have 44 rooms available, and it's also available on the YouTube channel. That is also posted in the chat. Couple of housekeeping, things that we do is to turn off the chat and hand raising when the session is on, and when Bindoji has completed the session, the hand raising will be open in the chat. So if you have any questions or follow-up discussions, Bindoji will be available for about half an hour. Over to you, Bindoji. Thank you.
Thank you, Prakash. Namaste, everyone. Let me start with the invocation. Om Namo Brahmadibhyo Brahma Vidya Sampradaya Kartrubhyo Vamsharishibhyo Mahadbhyo Namo Gurubhyaha Shruti Smriti Purananam Alayam Karunalayam Namami Bhagavat Padam Shankaram Loga Shankaram Shankaracharyam Keshavam Badarayanam Sutrabhashikritau Vande Bhagavantau Punah Punaha Ishvaro Gururatmedi Murtibheda Vibhagine Vyomavat Vyapta Dehaya Dakshinamurtaye Namaha. Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Aparokshanubhuti. Sri Harim Paramanandam Ubadeshtaramishwaram Vyapakam Sarvalokanam Karanam Tam Namamyaham. So in the last class we saw the completion of the samadhi and including samadhi, the 15 anga, the limbs of Rājayoga as per the Advaita, not as per the Patanjali Yoga. So there, the last verse was Bhava Vritya hi Bhavatvam, Shunya Vritya hi Shunyata, Brahma Vritya hi Purnatvam, Tada Purnatvam Abhyased. So here he is talking about a practice, Abhyased. What? Brahma Vritya hi Purnatvam. Therefore, for Purnatvam, we have to do the Abhyasa of the 15 limb Raja Yoga of what Acharya Shankara has listed out. The next verses, 5 verses from 30 to 35 is what I am planning to cover today, because basically we are talking about the Brahma Vritti. Yehi Vritti Jahatyenam Brahmakyam Pavanim Param Vruddhaiva Tetu Jivanti Pashubhischa Samanara. Ye, he who, Enam Param Pavanim, this supreme purifying Brahmakyam Vritti. See, Vritti, basically we should understand that Vritti is the experience that is happening in the mind, or what occupies the mind. Avritti or vritti, here the word vritti is coming with the meaning that what occupies the mind. See, mind is like a pool of water, clear this thing, clear lake. What trickles the ripples in that water will decide the magnitude and the nature of the ripples. If it is objective in nature, where we are gathering the information, knowledge and things like that, it will be based on that. If it will be emotions, feelings and thoughts, the same vritti will be under the influence of those desires, emotions, feelings and thoughts, etc. But the same mind, when it is tranquil and absorbed in the serenity of the water, or without what you call vibration or ripple or anything, it is called Brahmavritti. Because there is no difference between the one which is being experienced and who is being experiencer. Therefore, there is no difference in the objects to give a ripple in the mind. Therefore, Brahma Akyam Vritti. Akyam means named, by called as Brahma. Jahati ye te naraha vridhaiva jivanti. He who abandons the tranquility, peace and the serenity of the calm waters of the mind, those persons are living life in vain like animals, Pashubhihi Sama. The same thing is being in one of the Suparshitam, it mentions that Ahara Nidra Vayamaitunam Jat Samanyamedat Pashubhir Naranam Dharmo Hitesham Adigo Vishesha Dharmo Vihina Pashubhir Samana. So there they saying it is common for man and animal that Ahara Nidra Bhayam Maitanam. For the four, that is food, Ahara, Nidra is the rest, Bhayam is the feelings, emotions and thoughts, or what is the mental thing, and Maitanam, procreation. These are common with human beings and animals. Dharmo hi desham atigo vishesha. Dharma means the righteousness, or what is right and what is wrong. That makes the man different from animals. Animals are driven by instincts. They do not have the logic of which is right, which is wrong. So you may see the incest in animals, or the other, eating their own, what you call, family, when they fight between one lion and another lion or things like that, they will be butchering each one and eating them in the flesh, etc. So there is no vivechana or the dharma viveka in them. So here they are saying the vritti, if the vritti is not aligned with the Brahma, the tranquility and serenity of the non-dual ekatvam anupashyata, that aspect, if it is not being pursued by anybody, he is living a futile life. Idanim brahmamayim vrittim stotum tad vrittityaga vrittityaga para nindati ye hi iti ye enam brahmatyam vrittim jahati tyajati etu vritha eva jivanti iti anvayah spashtam anyat. So what Vidyaranya Swami is saying is that now, in order to praise the Aparokshanubhuti, see, Aparokshanubhuti is a vritti in the mind, not like thoughts where we are aware of the thoughts. Here we are both the knower and the known. Therefore, there are no thoughts because there is no contents in that. That is when Ido Vacho Nivartande Aprapya Manasa Saha becomes right. So when that is filled, the mind, that Amani Bhava, it is also called the Brahmakara Vritti. The Vritti is in the Akara of Brahma. Brahma is Advaitam, Ekatvam, non-dual. So the Vritti and the content of the Vritti are not two separate things. That is why it is being praised by that. Tad vritti tyaga paran nindati. Aparan nindati. So, Acharya Shankara is decrying those who are devoted or abandoning the pursuit of this peace and tranquility and bliss in the mind. Yehi iti. That is how the verse started. The one, ye enam brahma akyam vrittim jahati yajati te tu vridha eva jivanti iti anvayaha. There is not much he has mentioned here. He has just repeated the same meaning, spashtam anyat. The rest is evident from that. So he is saying that the verse is complete in itself. In Advaita, the Brahmakara Vritti is not an ordinary thought, but a valid cognition based what is called the Pramana Vritti. That removes the ignorance. The ignorance is what? The duality. I am subject, rest is all object. That dichotomy or duality is the ignorance. When I am one with everything which I am knowing, I am not different from what is being known, then that becomes Brahma Akara. Then the vritti is not something different which is happening in the mind. The knower and the known becomes one and the same. Without this vritti, the mind remains entangled in the object vritti. That is called samsara. Samyak sarati. It keeps on flowing to different objects. Or else it goes into a slumber, sushupti, or what you call shunyata. So, if a person is rejecting this Brahmakara vritti, in order to remain engaged in the world, samsara, then he is wasting his life. Vritha jivanam. That is what the text is emphasizing. So, ordinary vrittis take us to the bondage of what we call the samsara bandhanam. Shunya vritti is tamasic nature. We are dull-minded. We are neither interested in the samsara nor interested in Brahmakara. Whereas Brahmakara vritti is that vritti where there is no difference between the knower and the known, and that is liberating the idea that we are separate and we have a subject-object relationship with the phenomenal world. Next, there are 3 verses which Vidyaranya Swami has mentioned together, but I'll read each one of them separate. Yehi vrittim vijananti nyatva avi vardhayanti ye te vai satpurusha dhanyaha vandya aste bhuvanatre. Ye, he who, satpurusha, he who is the satpurusha, vrittim vijananti. See, this is a very tricky thing. He is saying that he is self-aware of his reality. That is why he is called a jnani. Jnatva api. Means he is aware of his own nature. He is not aware of his nature as separate, because you cannot know yourself as separate. Then there is no difference between the knower and the known. There is a difference between the knower and the known. So the Satpurusha are the people who are aware of the self-awareness as their own nature. Te vardhayanti te vai. They develop that knowledge. The self-knowledge developing means it is not developing in quantum or duration. That development which is being vardhayanti here is used that they become more and more identified with the self. When we listen, sometimes we get a glimpse of our own nature, but we are not able to stick to that. It comes and goes like a flash. But those Satpurushas, they are the virtuous people who, having known that Jnatva vardhayanti, that is the word Jnatva, that Tva pratyaya, when they add it, is to indicate that the previous action used for the subsequent action. So Jnatva vardhayanti, having known the nature of consciousness as Brahman, as what they are as their own nature, what is the vardhayanti they can do is to be more aligned and what we call is that abiding in it. Dhanyaha te, they are the blessed. Bhuvanatraya vandya bhavanti. In the Bhuvanatraya, here Bhuvanatraya is not indicating of Bhumi, Patala or Swarga or the heaven, hell and the earth. No. Here it is indicating the three states of our experience of Jagrata, Swapna, Sushupti, or past, present and future, if you want to take time as a concept. But time, we go beyond the time. So basically what is they saying that there is never a moment when they are not abiding in that. To harp upon the same thing, he is continuing that Esham vritti sama vriddha paripakka cha sa puna tevai sad brahmatam prapta na itare shabdavadinaha. Esham, those who vrittim sama, their consciousness or the awareness is same all the time. They are never falling from their knowledge or losing their identity of what they are. They are sama, means that is why the samadhi, the word comes from that. They are abiding all the time. Vriddha means developed. Sa cha punaha paripakka. Why? Why? That means they mature. Here the word mature is not to show duration in the time span scale. Mature means here is more identification with, that is why developing identification, sama is the same, etc. words are being used only to indicate that it is a knowledge or it is that state of abidance for us where we feel more and more happy the more we remain in that. What is that? Sad Brahmadam, the state of ever-existent Brahman, which is the attained state. Ever-existent. Therefore, it is never lost. Idare, others, those who are there, Shabdavadinaha, they appear to be jnanis, but they are eloquent and use words, but they do not abide in Brahman for their. That is why the Shrotriyam Brahmanishtam, the two words are used. Tat Vijnanartam sa Gurumeva Vigachet Shrotriyam Brahmanishtam. We heard this in the Mundaka Upanishad. Parikshalogan Karmajidan Brahmana Nirvedamaya Nastya Krita Kritena. Such people, they Gurumeva Vigachet. They go to such a guru who is Shrotriyam and Brahmanishtam. He is not only well versed in Shastras to quote or refer, and why he is quoting and referring, not to show his knowledge, but to make it sure that the student or the listener is given a pramana, because Shastra is the pramana. It is not, Guru is saying it is my experience. The Shankaracharya has never mentioned anywhere that it is my experience. But the way in which he has quoted pramanas from the various Upanishads, Brahma Sutra, etc., Shastra he is quoting, is to give the pramana that what he is talking is verified and stamped by the pramanas or the Shastra. So he is not a Shabdavadinaha, he is a Brahmavadinaha. He is talking from the standpoint of Brahman. Whereas Idare, others are there who will quote the Shastras, but their behavior will be seen that they are nowhere near, or they don't have any allegiance to Brahman or their behavior. Because the one who do not see duality can be only in the realm of emotions, feelings and thoughts. The one who is identified with the Brahman, he doesn't see anything separate, he doesn't hear anything separate. He stays with Brahman all the time. For such a person, there is no action or reaction. The example the Shastra uses is that he is like a dry leaf in the wind. Wherever it takes, it will go. Wherever it is dropped, it will fall. Same way, he is neither elated by the praise somebody gives on him, nor is he crying on the ridiculing somebody else is doing. He is Ninda, Stuti. Both are Sama for him. That is what we will learn when we go to Bhagavad Gita. Krishna talks about such a person. In the next verse, Kushala Brahmavartayam Vrittihina Suraginaha Te api Ajnanataya Nunam Punarayandi Yandicha. Now he is talking about Vrittihina, those people who are all without any Brahma Vritti. Those Brahmavartayam, discussing Varta, means they discuss about Brahman. They talk left, right and talk about consciousness, awareness, Brahman, everything in a very logical, argumentative all the kushalata, with the clever and what you call exemplary words used for discussions. But vrittihinaha, they are devoid of the vritti of Brahman. They are not established in Brahman. Therefore, there is no vritti for them of Brahman. What do they become? Suraginaha. They are attached to the worldly pressure. Raginaha means, raga means attachment. Suraginaha means well attached to the worldly pressures. Te api atnyanataya, on account of their ignorance, puna ayanti yanti cha. Nunam. Nunam means surely or definitely, because as long as you do not have the vritti or you do not yourself establish in the Brahma vritti, you will be assuming that you are the body, mind, intellect. And as long as you have the individuality and the body, mind, intellect, and whether you have the knowledge about technical knowledge or textual knowledge about it, as long as you are not mentally established in that reality of your true nature, you will believe that you are coming and going. Punarapi jananam, punarapi maranam, punarapi janari, jadare shayanam. Shankaracharya says in Bhajagovindam. Such people take birth again and again. That is what they believe. Because they do not have the experience to negate the ignorance which is caused by the duality. So in the duality there is time, space, birth, rebirth, etc., karma, etc. So those people will they'll keep repeating their mistakes again and again and think that they are coming again and again. Nimeshardam na tishtandi vrittim brahmamayim vina yada tishtandi brahmadhya sanakadhya sukadaya. Sadhakaha, the aspirants, those who are following the 15 steps up to samadhi. Brahmamayim vrittim vina nimeshardam na tishtandi. Brahmamayi means only Brahma, the vritti is only of Brahman. Mayi means mayat pratyaya is for fullness, 100% that only. So Brahmamayim means only of Brahman. What is that? Vritti. This mind now becomes imbued in Brahman, inundated by the bliss of Brahman. Nimeshardam vina, even for half a batting of eyelid, they will not be away from that Brahmavritti. That means this is exactly what I told about the Kenopanishad mantra, where Pratibodha Vididam Matam, that any bodham, Pratibodham means bodham prati. Every bodham means every anubhava or every vritti. If we do not see as Brahma vritti, we will not get Amrutatva. But if Pratibodha Viditam, if it is in the Brahma vritti, Amrutatva hi vindate. We will be in the state of eternity all the time. So Nimeshardam means, Nimesha means batting of an eyelid. half of that, ardha means half of that. So half the time of batting of an eyelid, even to that extent, they are not forgetting the Brahmavritti. Their mind is inundated or submerged or filled with Brahmavritti all the time. Yatha Brahmadya, Brahma and others, Brahmadi, Stavarandeshu is a statement. Om Namo Brahmadibhyo. When I started the invocation, I said Brahmadibhyo. Means starting with Brahma as the first creator. Even if you think that he is now giving 3 examples. From the Devas, it is Brahmadi. Brahmadya means all the gods. Sanakadaya means Sanaka, that Saptarshis. Then Shukadaya. Shuka is the son of Vyasa, who was stark naked, 16-year-old boy, full time only in Brahmavritti. He was not even aware of his own body when he was moving around and when he was discussing with people. So, Brahmadi means Deva, among the godly. Sanakadi is the rishis, and Shuka is being represented as the ordinary human beings. Vyasa's son. They are always in this. They remain in that. So this na tishtandi is a wrong mentioning here. In the English translation, he has put the not na in the bracket. Na tishtandi, remain. That without a single, okay, he has anvaya with a different word altogether. Yada shukadi brahmadi na tishtandi with brahmamayim vrittim vina. Okay, if you take that way, without a single moment, without the thought of Brahman, even Brahma or Sanaka or Shuka and others have not remained. Then the next 5 verses, 35 to 40, he is talking about a different subject altogether, where he is taking that the kārya kāranataya, the cause and effect, if that is the thought, what happens? Kārye kāranataya kāranata ayata कारणे नहि कार्यता कारणत्वं ततो गच्छेत कार्याभावे विचारता. Karye, in the effect, karanata, the nature of the cause, that is the cause and the effect. In the effect, the cause is inherent. Karane karyata, in cause, the effect is nahi tataha vicharataha, through the reasoning of karya bhave, in the absence of the effect, karanatvam gachet. That is, the relationship between the cause and the effect is to be understood. Why is he talking suddenly a change of subject? When we go to the next verses, we will know that. Vidyaranya is giving a long commentary for that. Not very long, but yata evam means since it is so explained Brahma Vritti means in the earlier this thing for Brahma Prapti. Tasmat Brahma Nishtaihi Brahma Vrittyeva Sarvada Statavyam iti Suchitam. That is, those who are following this path and having realized we are Brahman, we have to abide and remain in that. That is why the growth, development, sama, etc. has been mentioned. Brahmavadinam udaharanamaha nimishan, this thing, that Shukadi, Brahmadi, Shukadi, and all those things have been explained. Who are all those things? Now, in the Kārya Karanataya, Tadeva Swa Abhimatam Sangam Rājayogam Abhidaya, that is, having explained his own definitions for the 15-fold Rājayoga, Purva Ukta Pragaram Saṅkhya Apara Paryayam Vedanta Vicharam Upasamharati. Now he concludes the Vedantic inquiry through the Saṅkhya philosophy. That is, this Satkaryavadam, which is there in the verse which we read now, is basically called the Satkaryavadam. The cause itself is the effect. Without cause, there is no effect. And the effect is not different from the cause. So, kārya ityadi panjabi shlokai kāryeti, that is, vikare karanata mrit tan virupa sarva vikaradishtanata ayata anugata karane tu karyata na hi. In the effects, vikaras, karanata, the cause is seen. For example, the pot is the effect, clay is the mritva, is the mud. The clay persists as a substratum for all modification. Whether you are making a pot or a lamp or a doll, the clay is consistent or the same cause for them. Ayata anugata karane tu karyata nahi. Thus, the effect's reality is nothing but the cause extended. Ayata anugata. But in the cause itself, there is no effect-ness. That is, the mrit in the gadatvam or the potness is not there in the mrit, in the clay. You can say the pot may be inherent in the mud, but potness, the nature of the pot, which has got the shape and the name, that cannot be seen in the pot. Tata karanatat karyabhave karanatvam gachet. Therefore, if the effect is absent in the cause would lose its causehood. So he is now taking a Saṅkhya philosophy here. That is that the mud became the nature of cause only when the pot is created. Think clearly. The potness is in the pot. Same way, the mud has got karanata, means causeness or causehood, as long as the pot is available. In the absence of the pot, you cannot attribute the causehood onto the lump of clay. Because instead of pot, if it had become a doll, then it is a different thing. It's a cause, yet it is a cause, but not for potness or pothood, but for dollhood or dollness. So the causeness of the pot cannot be the permanent nature for the mud. So there is an objection now coming. Nanu kadam karane kārya bhavaha. How can the effect be absent in the cause? Because the pot is inherent in the mud, or in other word, arup, without the name and form, the pot potency is there in the mud. But you cannot say the lump of mud is the cause for the pot unless it becomes a pot. Ityada aha vicharata iti. On vichara. This means it's very clear that only the absence of thought of the pot cannot make the lump of mud as the cause for the pot. Yada ayam drishtanta tata akashadi kārya kāranata. Just as in this example, Vidyaranya says that Akasha Brahma Tada Tasmad Atmana Akasha Sambhutaha. We heard this in the Taittiriya. Akashad Vayu Vayo Ragnihi Agne Rapaha Adya Prithvi Prithivya Aushadaya Aushadepyo Annam Annat Purushaha. Purusha. Like that, the stages of creation has been mentioned in the Taittiriya Upanishad. That cause and effect aspect is being referred here. Akashe asti bhadi ityadi vyavahara hetu bhuta. That is asti nasti. Akasha exists, bhadi shines. Such transactions are possible only because of the substratum which is having the asti bhadi. The asti bhadi is not in the akasha. Now let us take the example of the pot. The pot is there and it is known. That is a clear experience for all of us. But what here is being told is that you are not thinking properly. The potness or the pothood and the existence and the feeling of its existence, the bhati aspect, is not that of the pot. Let us for a minute think that the pot is there and I am removing the mudness from the pot or the mudhood from the pot. Can there be the potness as existence and awareness or the bhadi, asti bhadi? No. The moment you remove the mud, the pothood or the potness goes. Therefore, the asti bhadi or the existence and the shining of or the awareness of the pothood is not that of pot but that of the mud. Because when it is removed, it loses it. Therefore, it cannot be of the one which is the appearance. It has to the appearance is now being given the attribute of existence and awareness due to the presence of the cause, which is the mud. Satyajnanadi rupa brahmana karanata ayata anugata. So in the akasha, etc., up to the entire creation of the phenomenal world, Satyajnanadi rupam, we feel that Satyam Akasha is there, Vayu is there, Prithvi is there, Agni is there. There is a jnana aspect of it that we are aware of it, their existence. Here, Vidyaranya says that Satya Jnanadi Rupa Brahmana Karanata. It is the cause is because the Brahma is the Karana. Therefore, it feels that it is the nature or the causehood at which is appearing in the Akashadi, Akasha, etc., is due to the source or the substratum Brahma, which is Satya Jnana. The Brahma or the Brahman or the Atma is not given Satya Jnanam Anandam Brahma or Sachidanandam Brahma. It is because of this reason. The Atma Brahman is the cause from where Akashadi has been appearing. The appearance has borrowed its Satya Jnana Avastha from the cause which is Brahma, just like the pot has borrowed the existence and awareness aspect from the mud, because when the mud is removed, the potness goes. Therefore, the potness is not the reality. The reality is the mudness in it, mudhood, which has got the existence and awareness. Similarly, the entire phenomenal world, including you and me, is felt as if existing and awareness due to the fundamental or the basic substratum from where we are getting the existence and awareness. Karane Brahmanitu Akashadi Karyata Nahi. There is no effect-ness such as space, Akashadi, without Brahman. Ataha Paramartataha Akashya Abhave Brahmanaha Karanada Api Nahi Iti. Therefore, the highest truth is that the space, etc., do not exist separately from Brahman. Because if it is appearing because of Brahman. But Brahman cannot be really called the cause. Just as the mud cannot be called the cause. Each aspect which is appearing is not different from Brahman. Whether it is Akasha, Vayu, Agni, Apa, Prithvi, Aushadhi, Purushaha, etc. It is just like the same lump of clay can be made into 100 pots by different sizes and shapes. The different sizes and shapes do not get their reality of existence and awareness independently from the mud. Same way, the Brahman is the reality, Satya Jnanam, which is being felt in the Akashadi. But can we really call Brahman the cause? No. Because the causeness can be done only if we feel the separatedness. When Akasha is also Brahma, how can Brahma be the cause for Akasha? Brahma, Vayu, Apa, Agni, Prithvi, Aushadai, Brahma, every kan, every atom in the creation is nothing but Brahman. So there is, how do you say that Brahman is the cause? If it is become something different and that difference is felt without the Brahman cause, then you can say it is a cause. But when there is no difference, it is the same Brahman which is the atom, which is the cause of the phenomenal appearance of the phenomenal world. The phenomenal world is Brahman itself. So when it is the same itself, the stand of the Sankhya philosophers saying that the kārya karana bhava, that Akasha is the karana for Vayu, etc., or Brahman is the karana for Akasha, that cannot stand validity. This is the reason why Vyavahara is not separate from the cause which is Brahman. That is how the Sarvam Kaluidam Brahma becomes a real statement. A statement of reality. From our experiential point, it is not. But vichara, if we really think about it, then only we can reach the vritti of Brahmakara vritti. I'll continue this verse once more in the next class so that we have a continuity in the coming 4 verses, because they are all, for the 5 verses are linked one after the other. So with a preamble to this same verse in the next class, we will go through the remaining 4 verses. And most probably another next class or from following class, or maybe one more class, 2 or 3 classes more required for Aparokshanubhuti. We will be finishing Aparokshanubhuti and we will embark upon Bhagavad Gita. That's my plan as it is now. But for Bhagavad Gita, it is 700 verses. This is only 144 verses, which took us almost 45 or 50 verses, 50 classes. So you can imagine how many classes will be required for Bhagavad Gita. So my request is that I want to do it Monday through Friday, the same time, 8:30 p.m. Indian time, until I go to Australia, which is, I don't know when it will be. But as long as I am in India, Indian time of 8:30 p.m., Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday we'll have it. Saturday I'll take 1 day rest. Sunday we'll have question answer session. Again start on Monday onwards. That is my plan. I hope it is okay with you, all of you, and you can attend regularly. So I'll stop here. Thank you all for coming. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vishishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. Thank you. Dhanyawad.
Thank you very much, Binduji. I've opened the chat and the hand raising. So if there's any follow-up questions or any discussions, Binduji is available for a few minutes. Namaste, Venkatji.
Namaste, Venkat. Thank you for the book distribution.
Yes, so just met. We just arrived at home. I missed part of the session. I will go through again.
Okay.
So these are the, I have 3 structured questions.
Go ahead.
That mud pot example is a very, very profound example. So the potness, right? The potness. Now, can we go through one by one setting?
Okay.
Because we don't have a potter as separate here, right? In the configuration, example configuration, there is no potter as separate.
We are not taking that into picture. Because
not taking into picture. Basically, that is, we are restricting it out. That means the potness happened and it is not available in the clay.
You're right.
Right? Now, you took us through this, it has to be inherent in the nature of the mud itself. That means it's a...
That is what the Sankhya says.
Okay. Now, you're ruling out, because it can't be the potness, it has to be nature. The gnanam itself is inherent.
Yes.
So then there is no need for separate potness in this case.
Yes.
Right? So this is one deduction. That means it's a smart clay, in a way to put it.
Let me give you another example, then Venkat, it will be clear for you. You are getting agitated in your mind.
Okay.
You are aware of your agitation in the mind, or depression, or sadness, or whatever it is.
Yes.
But you are unable to get out of that. You are, angry or sad, whatever may be the happiness, whatever may be the emotion. You are observing it. You are aware that it is coming in your mind. At the same time, you are a victim to it. Because you are a victim to it, you feel that the sadness or the anger is real. Because the body reacts based on that. Either tears flow in your eyes, or you become angry and throw things out and things like that. It is happening, but you know it is happening, but you are not able to control it.
Okay.
Can the thought or the anger or the sadness which is in your mind happen without you?
Yes. So you are right. It's a derived knowledge that, coming in the way, while the who derived it, has to be there. Without the person...
Tell me, your anger or your sadness, who derived it?
Yeah, the person who derived it is the either source of it, either this way or that way.
Yes.
Right?
So my question is that, can the anger or sorrow be a product separate and out, not anyway connected with you?
It is not outside.
Yes, it's not outside. It is not separate from you. It is not an independent existing thing. But at the same time, you have the feeling of its reality of sadness and have anger, whatever it is. You are aware, but you are unable to control it. So you give it a reality. Not thinking, by helplessness you give it a reality.
Correct.
This is exactly what happens when we wake up in the morning. Or when we go into dream. Let us take first dream. We go into dream, we are helpless, we are in a dream. But when we wake up, we know it was a dream, it is not real. Same is the case when we are in the waking. We went into waking, we created the world, we experienced the world, similar to the world of dream and the dream experiences. There is no difference between the waking and the waking experiences and the dream and the dream experiences. Both are coming from our own creation. But since they are being experienced as independent and real, the world appears to be real for me. Because I am a waker experiencing the world. But when I do the vichara, when I do the proper analysis in the similar fashion, comparing to my experiences of the dream and the dream world, the waking and the waking world cannot be different from me. Me, in the sense, not the waker, but the one which was common to the waker and the dreamer or the deep sleeper also put together. That entity is indeed the one who is the dreamer and the dream world, or the waker and the waking world. This can happen only when we do the vichara. That is why, even though the Sankhya philosophy has the cause and effect, and the cause is non-separate from the effect is non-separate from the cause, but they do not accept ananyatvam. They think the effect is separate from the cause. Whereas Advaita says that there is ananyatvam between, or non-separateness in the cause and the effect. Is it clear now?
No, this is perfect. This is perfect, Binduji. So this will provide that very view that there's no separatedness, number one, and that knowledge is inherent.
Yes.
Okay, so this is clear, Binduji. Now,
Okay.
this is that mud pot example clears it up. Now, take the larger context. Now, I'm just putting the larger context is the Brahman larger context, the Atman, which is very relatable to one's own internal experience to all of this. Now, extend the context to the broader world. It is like a ocean and different shapes of the wave arising.
Yes. Yes.
It's just arising, they shape up because there's no a pattern to it. Like Agni. Agni doesn't have a pattern. It simply has varied shapes.
Yes.
Now, the larger world seems self-organizing. That knowledge of self-organizing, even at a broad level, is no different than, that samashti or vesti samashti, the self-organizing nature of the individual mind to the broader context. How do you relate now the same example? Randomness of a wave versus self-organizing nature of this, the potness we call.
Okay. Now, let us take one by one. The water does not feel there is multiple waves or random waves or different shapes of waves. When you become the water, it doesn't see the waves. But as a person outside, as the water and the waves of the waves, multitude, nature and everything felt separated by the shape and name and forms. Is it clear? From the point of view of water, there is no wave separate.
So water is also wave.
That from the water's point of view, wave is not separate. There is no wave.
Perfect. That's perfect, Vidoji. But you can't discount the fact that water is also wave.
Water is also wave. Okay, agreed. Your statement I am holding on to. Water is also wave.
Then the wave said.
Now, okay, go ahead.
And the wave said, this whole thing seems self-organizing.
There is no self-organizing. For that, it should have multitudinous felt at the water level for self-organizing. Agree?
Yes and no, Binduji. Because water, wave is also water.
Right.
And wave has arrived at this.
No, that wave is it separate from water?
No.
So, self-organizing and multitude is not present in it from the point of view of water.
How do we know?
Okay, let me now take you to the second example. I said 2 examples. In the phenomenal world, show me one self-organizing item without space.
It is always there, no doubt.
Oh, okay. So from the point of view of the space, everything is space. Without space, there cannot be an item which is within the space.
Perfect, Binduji.
Right? So the self-organizing nature from the point of view of the space cannot happen, because without that, organizing means you need to be separate from it to organize it.
Not
It doesn't see separatedness.
not
It
necessarily.
doesn't see separatedness at all.
And that's perfect, Binduji. If the waves, for example, wave after getting knowledge that I'm no different than the ocean,
Yes.
right? Yet
Right.
now it has a capability that sees, I'm also this, I'm also this, I'm
Yes.
also self-organizing.
Self-organizing is a terminology those who are outside using it. From the point of view of the ocean or the space, the self-organizing is not a terminology at all.
See, when the wave resolves into water, the question doesn't come.
Will you say that the dream is self-organizing?
Pinduji, the difference between a dream and waking world is Desha Kala Karya Karana Sambandha.
Okay.
Right? So that's the difference between dream and waking. Right? Because that's why,
But
the
you
wake up,
cannot say that the dreamer is involved in the waking or the waking is involved in the dream. No.
there are separate configurations.
Yes.
So because there's a separate configuration from a Desha Kala Karya Karana Sambandha.
Right.
So there are certain aspects that are, configurations vary. That's why, sticking to the, we cannot compare in this order. Hence, the broader context is that I'm just trying to, put this forth. If such, knowledge is inherent, right? If that inherent knowledge itself is seen, the structures are seen. I'm not giving reality to it. Just that it's an observation.
Right. That
That's
is
about
why
it.
the word mithya is used, not asat.
Yeah.
The appearance is real, but it is not real absolutely.
No, that is absolutely perfect. From the water point of view, all this doesn't hold anything.
Water, waves, space, objects, from Brahman, everything in the knowledge or awareness.
That's perfect, Binduji. Just that, because everything is Brahman and inherent,
Yes.
just that it is not separately seen. Just these are the, maybe.
That is why the word ekatvam anupasyata has got an importance. Aham brahmasmi.
Yeah, Brahmakara
Or
Vritti, you said it. Yeah, perfectly you said.
that is the
Everything,
Brahmakara Vritti will come.
yeah. In everything to be seen this way, everything is Brahman.
Yes.
So that's why, Mano Brahmeti Upasita, all that can reflect back on the prior teachings. There's nothing separate there. Everything is Brahman. All this phenomenal world is seen as Brahman, and that put a stop to all of this, right, Binduji?
Right.
Correct, Binduji.
Any more question?
I'm good. I need to go through the remaining video. I didn't have a chance.
Okay.
I'll come back after this.
Anyway, next, because we are got 4 more verses in the same topic, which we'll be taking in the next Wednesday's class. So this is only the beginning verse where he is asking us to kārya kāranataya. So that is being continued in the next 4 verses, which we'll do it in the Wednesday. Thank you, Venkat. Anybody else? Or you want to wait for Wednesday? Okay, let us wait for Wednesday and have the question answer after that. Because Wednesday and most probably Friday, because 35 or 240, I'll finish it in Wednesday. Then 40 to 44, I can finish it in Friday. Let us see, Friday or next Wednesday, we'll complete it.
Okay.
Okay then, let us close.
Thank
Prakash?
you, Bindoji. Yes, thank you, Bindoji. Thanks, everyone. And
Okay.
thank you, Venkatji, for coming up and asking some deeply probing questions. We'll have to do some manana. And thanks, everyone, for coming. So see you on Friday, 8:30 p.m. IST. Thank you, Bindoji. Hari Om.
Thank you. Thank you all. Have a nice day. We'll see you on Wednesday, Sunday for the Q&A and on Wednesday for continuation of this class. Hari Om. Good night.